Imagine being told your only job is to clean the shop and babysit a child. It sounds like a dead end, right? But for one 15-year-old boy in 1922, this was just the beginning of an extraordinary journey. Fast forward a few decades, and this same boy was challenging the giants of the automotive world, building the largest motorbike company and leaving an indelible mark on the industry. This is the untold story of Soichiro Honda, a boy who rose from nothing to create the multi-billion-dollar empire we know as Honda Motors. In 1922, a 15-year-old boy named Soichiro Honda showed up for his first day at a small auto repair shop in Tokyo, Japan. He wasn't hired to repair cars. No, he was assigned to clean the workshop and babysit the owner's child. It seemed like a dead end. But what nobody realized was that this young boy was destined to change the automotive world forever. Born in 1906 in a small, poverty-stricken village at the foot of Mount Fuji, Soichiro came from humble beginnings. His father was a blacksmith who repaired bicycles on the side, and his mother was a weaver. Despite the hardships of rural life, including the tragic loss of 5 siblings, Soichiro was captivated by machines from an early age. At just 8 years old, Soichiro heard a rumbling noise one day that would change his life. He rushed outside and saw something he had never seen before: a Ford Model T rolling down the road. He was mesmerized. Without even thinking, he chased the car as fast as he could. This moment ignited a lifelong passion for machines, engines, and most importantly, cars. Soichiro's fascination led him to tinker with farm equipment, wetting blades, and fixing bicycles alongside his father. But school wasn't for him. He disliked academics so much that he even forged his family's stamp to hide his poor grades from his father, until he got caught and received a punishment he would never forget. At 15, Soichiro came across an ad for a Tokyo-based automobile company, Art Shokai, and immediately wrote a letter seeking a job. To his delight, he was accepted. So without hesitation, he dropped out of school and moved to Tokyo to follow his dream. When he arrived at Art Shokai, the owner, Yuzo Sakakibara, had little confidence in the young boy. For months, Soichiro's only task was to babysit the owner's child. But even though he was doing nothing but carrying a baby on his back, he refused to go home a failure. Eventually, the workshop got too busy, and Sakakibara had no choice but to let Soichiro help with repairs. This was Soichiro's moment. He poured every bit of energy into learning the trade, quickly becoming one of the most talented mechanics in the shop. He soon began assisting with both car and motorcycle repairs and even joined Sakakibara in building custom racing cars. His passion for motorsports grew stronger with each project. In 1924, at just 17 years old, Soichiro found himself on a racing team, engineering cars for the Japanese Motor Car Championship. The team's car took first place, and from that day on, motorsports became Soichiro's religion. But life wasn't all racing glory. In 1926, Soichiro was drafted for military service, but was excused when doctors discovered he was colorblind. Freed from the army, he continued to focus on his mechanical dreams. By 1928, Sakakibara trusted him so much that he made Soichiro the head of a new Art Shokai branch in Hamamatsu. However, managing the new branch was no easy task. People were skeptical of Soichiro because of his age, and business was slow. He had to survive off jobs that other repair shops didn't want. But Soichiro was persistent, using his skills to build a strong reputation. Eventually, his hard work paid off, and the branch grew from a one-man operation to a shop with 30 employees. By the 1930s, Soichiro's racing prowess earned him fame in Japan. He even built a car that set a speed record of 120 kilometers per hour, a record that stood for 20 years. But racing was dangerous, and in 1936, Soichiro was nearly killed in a crash that left him with severe injuries. After a long recovery and pressure from his family, Soichiro reluctantly gave up racing, but his ambitions were far from over. In the late 1930s, Soichiro shifted his focus to manufacturing car parts, particularly piston rings. He proposed turning his Art Shokai branch into a factory, but the investors disagreed. Undeterred, Soichiro founded his own company, Tokai Seiki, and set out to manufacture piston rings. It wasn't easy. For years, he faced failure after failure. But Soichiro didn't quit. He enrolled in metallurgy courses and worked day and night to perfect his designs. After several years of relentless effort, his hard work paid off. In 1939, he successfully created high-quality piston rings, which caught the attention of Toyota. Although his first batch of pistons was mostly rejected, Soichiro improved them until they met Toyota's standards. By 1940, Tokai Seiki was booming, employing 2,000 workers to meet the growing demand. Everything seemed to be going well, until disaster struck. World War II ravaged Japan, and in 1944, an air raid destroyed Soichiro's factory. The following year, a massive earthquake demolished another one of his plants. Japan surrendered in 1945, and Soichiro found himself with almost nothing left. So he sold his business to Toyota and took a much-needed break to figure out his next move. In post-war Japan, gasoline was in short supply. Soichiro needed a way to get around but couldn't find fuel. So, what makes Soichiro Honda's story so powerful? It's not just about building a multi-billion-dollar empire, it's about grit, passion, and refusing to accept failure. Honda turned obstacles into opportunities, from babysitting in a repair shop to revolutionizing the motorcycle and car industries. His story reminds us that success isn't a straight path. It's filled with bumps, detours, and even crashes. But those who keep moving forward are the ones who reach their destination.